Step into the world of small kitchen design, where compact spaces blossom with clever solutions and stylish touches. Today on Homeworthy, we're exploring 4 show-stopping small kitchens that prove size does not limit beauty or functionality. We see one that's filled with DIY decor, another defined by its light, a rental that's packed with vintage treasures, and one with architectural intrigue that feels more like a minimalist corridor than anything else. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Before today's episode, click the join button below to support all of the storytelling we do on this channel. Our growing community of members help to directly fund more videos so we can capture these extraordinary homes from around the world. So join today to receive early and exclusive access to new Homeworthy videos. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
So now we are in my kitchen, and I have to laugh at this because this is my vacuum that I need to charge. So again, I don't have a lot of closet space, so I had to find a place to put my cleaning device, which is my vacuum, on a wall. But I made it pretty with some decorative plates above here so it doesn't look too harsh on the eyes when you're looking at my vacuum cleaner entering the kitchen. So this is my kitchen. It's really small. It's really tiny. I'm able to fit an island in here, thankfully, but it's a functioning kitchen. I do a lot of cooking. Whenever I'm entertaining, for some reason, everyone ends up in the kitchen. So we're all hanging out here, drinking and talking and laughing, versus in the dining room, everyone feels more comfortable doing it in here. So, I love that. So, more animals, my rabbits that are here. This is where my cooking happens. Literally, I want everything accessible when I need it. So this is my small corner where I make some really fabulous meals, and everything is right at my hands when I need it, and it's great. And including Oliver when he's hungry, he is scratching and meowing and rubbing on me to feed him. And these are his bowls that are also from A Wanderlust Home. Right, Ollie? I love colorful doors. So I painted this door red as a pop. And it's this is an image that I put here of a mother and her child, and I just love that because it reminds me of my mom. So I got it and put it here, and also she was a cook, so it was just appropriate to have this in the kitchen when I'm cooking. It reminds me of her when I was a child and her in the kitchen. And these are some DIY things that and you'll see it's a rental, so I didn't want to invest too much. But this countertop is a peel and stick paper, and you can see the line. I'm not embarrassed to show you. It's real that, listen, I didn't want to spend money on a new countertop, so I did it myself, and this was kind of maybe a poor DIY job, but it is what it is, and it works because I hated what looked underneath it, which was a marble thing, and it just was not pretty to the eye. So I covered it in this white peel and stick, and I also did the same with these cabinets. They were wood, and I did a peel and stick in a blue, more blue, and it's kind of peeling off here. And I wanted to just show that I'm real, and this is a living space, and things kind of get worn down because I use things. So yeah, I thought this blue was like a grass clothy kind of blue from Amazon, peel and stick, which was great. And I chose to do peel and stick because I thought painting them would be more difficult and more of a headache, which actually doing this was the headache, and I wish I had painted them. So, but they're done, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then also this backsplash, what I put on the wall just to kind of give a little bit of some interest I wanted to create adding some blue again. I love blue in every room, and it kind of works. It's kind of like this, I want to say penny tile, but penny tile is a little bit bigger than this, so maybe a pebble tile creation. And it kind of mimics the carpet, the Jennifer Manners carpet in the living room, but in blue. So it kind of works. It's kind of cool, and it's added a shelf here. The shelf didn't come with the wall. I added a shelf, put some of my favorite pieces there that I love, some antiques. This isn't a real Wedgwood. It's a replica, which I still love. I love the coloring of it. And this is a portable dishwasher because this is a small apartment, and when I moved in 14 years ago, there were no dishwashers in the apartment. So I had to buy a portable countertop one, which works great. It's clean. I'm not going to open it up, but in order to make it more appealing, I covered it in copper. My little cart here, I covered in copper as well, the top, and changed the hardware and the knobs. And you'll just see little pops of copper pop up, and I just wanted to just utilize that over in the kitchen. But this was fun to do, and you can kind of see, it's bubbling a little bit, but it warms up my kitchen. It was silver, like the sink, and it just was it wasn't doing something. And I thought if I covered it in copper, and now it sings in this room. So I love it. I am always cooking. Honestly, I can do a mean, pasta bolognese, which is like so easy and fun. Grilled chicken with vegetables. My favorite grilled chicken recipe is by Anna Garten. It is my go-to. I don't even look at the recipe. I have it embedded in my head of how to make it. I make it all the time. I feed Oliver some chicken. He loves when I make fresh chicken. And these are some cookbooks that I'm not into looking at, things online. I do, but I still like collecting some good cookbooks that I look through when I want to create something interesting and good. But I love being in the kitchen. This is like my therapy when I'm cooking something, and especially when it takes a really long time, I'm really into it, where it can take like the prep time is like 45 minutes and then the cooking time is like an hour. I love that. It's my therapy. It kind of keeps me grounded. I'm home, I'm cooking, I'm either eating it for myself or I'm serving it for someone. They're enjoying it. It's a warm feeling when you make a home cooked meal and someone's enjoying it besides yourself.
Welcome to my kitchen, my tiny little kitchen. It is small, but I love it because it has some really nice light. It feels very, very happy and sunny. And I was about to say I like cooking in here, but that's a lie because I don't really cook that much, sorry to say. It's New York City. I order takeout a lot. But I have this little chair for if the rare moments that I am cooking, I can have a friend sit and chat. In my dream world, I have like a big kitchen that basically has like a living room in it so that people can chat. Because I do love, even though I don't cook much, I do love the whole vibe of the kitchen. That's like hang out, make a meal. I do have some aspirational cookbooks in the corner, and this countertop here was like a kind of ugly granite that I didn't love, so I recovered it in this contact paper in this pretty blue color, but don't get too close because I only did kind of an okay job here. But it makes me much happier to look at this blue. I have some plants in the window and more little trinkets from my childhood home. My mom really liked roosters. Her mom was Swedish, so this is a little Swedish rooster. I have a few little roosters around. And then I have some more family photos, Christmas cards on my fridge. So on this hidden side of my fridge, this is where I keep all my magnets from my Broadway shows. I love theater, and every time I see a show, I get a little magnet. So that's a little kind of hide and seek moment. If you happen to be on this side of my kitchen, you can see all of the shows that I've been to. Some more like vintage art in this little room that I really love. I got this from this place called Joliet. That's like an online store for like French antiques. Right here I have my mother's famous kolache recipe that my sister printed and laminated for me, or copied and laminated, with her little notes. Even though I said I don't cook that much, when I do it, I'm pretty good because I can follow a recipe. I'm a good baker because I can really follow a recipe, which you have to do when you're baking. And so I've made these kolaches before, and they're really delicious.
Let me take you into my kitchen now. This space, I actually have a love-hate relationship with the kitchen. It's pretty big considering the size of my apartment, but I am not the biggest cook. I can cook, I just choose not to. My boyfriend does most of the cooking in here actually when he's around. But I do love the idea of a big kitchen. I love like decorating a kitchen. This room still needs a bit of work, still needs a bit of love, but there are some fun things in here. This is a sort of a touchy subject on the internet. I used to have a sort of a full line of cabinets right here, but I took a saw to them actually and sawed the cabinets off so that I could bring in this cabinet. It has a little bit more storage, and I like to think it's cuter. This just holds like my teas and spices and stuff. That's the one thing I do enjoy, even though I don't really cook very much. When I do cook, I love to have seasonings, and I like to have them like easy to grab. My sawed off cabinets, I feel like now you can barely even tell that I cut them in half. We sort of repainted everything, replastered, filled in all the holes, evened out the sort of line right there. But again, you don't have to like get too close into there. We also have my sink area. It's definitely an old apartment, and you can tell it's an old apartment by the kitchen, I think. My landlord just kind of gave me the landlord special. I really like my landlord, but they definitely painted everything white in here. So they painted over the original tile. They painted over like the cabinet door hinges, literally everything. So I've been doing some things piece by piece. Like I painted the cabinets dark green. This is a green from Clara Paint actually. I changed my faucet and I got this pretty gold one. I really wanted the faucet that has like a double bar, but I was on a renter budget and I didn't want to spend a ton of money, so I got this, which I still think is really nice, and I can sort of spray it around, move it around, which is cool. I also added these peel and stick tiles. They're very renter friendly actually. Like when I was applying them, I messed up a ton, but when I would like pull them off to re-stick them, they didn't mess up any of the old painted tiles. I actually did a checkerboard pattern, which was very monotonous, and the pattern actually did mess it up a little bit if you look closely, which again, just don't look at anything too closely in here, but I think if you zoom out and you pull back, I think it looks pretty cool. You know what, it is funny, they gave me 2 sources of lights in this kitchen and really none in the living room, but I got these light fixtures from Terrain, which is I think like Anthropologie's sister brand, and I hung these myself. I added these ceiling medallions. The ceiling medallions are new and they are a little smaller than I had imagined. I think they are definitely a lesson in reading everything when you shop online. I thought they were going to be a lot bigger, but I just didn't read correctly, so they're quite tiny, but still cute, I like to think. And I think they add a little more of a sort of elevated, maybe Parisian style to an otherwise kind of boho light, which I like. This rug isn't vintage. It's one of the washable rugs that you can just grab from Ruggable. And I like that it's washable because otherwise I don't think I would have a rug in the kitchen. I imagine that if I cooked more, it could get very dirty very quickly. This one is washable. I have washed it. Normally, I kind of use it to cover up the paint that I spilled on the floor when I was painting. My cat stepped in the paint and his little footprint is down there, which is cute, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna get that out when it's time for me to move. So my fridge, it's the closest I could get to a Smeg fridge, basically, without paying the Smeg fridge price. I just got this one and I sort of begged my landlord to let me bring this in and get rid of the old, really tiny white refrigerator that was here originally. This doesn't fit a ton of food, but because I don't cook that much and because it's only me who lives here full time, it works for now anyway. If I move, I may end up leaving this fridge here, sort of upsizing, but for now I think it's good. I just have a few little pictures, some more family. These are my little cousins, Zora and Zay. I think they're so cute, so I just put them up there and they make me smile whenever I see them. And then we have my boring stove. It's not a cute stove, but to make it look a little more exciting, I just hung these little shelves here. They could definitely use a little more styling, but it's kind of practical. Those are sort of the glasses I grab the most when I have wine with friends. And then I added that little LED light right above so that when my boyfriend cooks, he has a light so he can actually see what he's doing. One built-in that I think is very cute. I haven't done anything really special with this. I think it would look cool with wallpaper maybe, but for now I just use it to hold some of my cuter glasses. I've got a lot of vintage cups in there, a lot of not vintage cups in there as well. And then I have just a sort of mini gallery wall. This is kind of where all the art goes that I love, but I don't really know where to put it. So I've got this, which is actually, when I worked at Urban Outfitters, I worked there for like 2 years. We would get to bring home so much stuff and we got like such a good price on everything. This really wasn't anything for sale, but I thought it was fun, and it's the only word art that I like, just because it says try me. And then I've got some more thrifted things, a little smoking cat up there, which is really fun. It reminds me of my cat. I always think of him as kind of like a surly man who may or may not smoke. Got another lady smoking, which is sensing a theme here. I don't smoke, actually. This was a Facebook Marketplace find that I got a little while back, probably like two years ago. When I do cook, this is sort of where I prep everything. So I'll like chop veggies and stuff here. I make my tea here usually. It's nice because I can sort of like stare out the window at all of my neighbors and see what they're getting into. And sometimes my cat will jump up there. I know it's a little gross when cats get on the counters, but in this house, that's what we do, I guess. But I do clean before I, use this area for food. They're not the most special things, but I do, whenever I can, I do like to switch the switch plate covers and outlet covers in my apartment. I think it makes things look a little more intentional, especially if you have like those old covers that your landlord just painted over a bunch of times. So I just switched mine out for these gold ones that look a little more interesting.
I love this kitchen, and the reason why I love this kitchen is because it's not a kitchen. It is effectively a corridor into the back of the house. I think it's a very clever use of space. In these Victorian townhouses, the reception area, which is the front of the house, is usually divided into two spaces. A space where you sit because there's a natural ability to create a seating area, there's a fireplace, and then there's this second room. Some people have decorated it as a desk area with some bookcases for television. Others use it as a dining space. But for some reason, the second half of the front reception room, in my opinion, is not as well used for square footage, which is why I love the fact that the kitchen is here. When you think of kitchens, we often think of very, very large spaces with an island. But if a restaurant can serve 250 tables a night in a galley space, why can't we in our own homes? In London, in these beautiful Victorian houses, we are gifted with very high ceilings. When you think of kitchen design, the height at which we stop our kitchen units tend to be much lower than the ceilings. But what I love so much about this is that you can use the top part of the kitchen cabinets for plates and glasses that you only use on the occasion. When I designed this kitchen, I specifically designed it as a corridor. It just happens to be a kitchen, which is why I've put a runner in the center. I've added a beautiful light fixture, as you would do in a corridor, and I've dressed the area with some more cornicing, like the entrance. When I chose the design for the kitchen, I've specifically chosen a very simple, modern, nondescript door. The reason for that is I wanted it to feel like a hallway. I didn't really want to draw any attention to any detail. The stone is also something very, very simple because I just wanted it to blend. But the real asset of this kitchen is the runner, the light fixture, and the cornicing. I wanted to draw attention to the ceiling, and I have worked with this beautiful, wonderful specialist painter called the Finish Effect. They created this beautiful textured finish, and the color is a rhubarb which matches and highlights the rug underneath. We cook a lot in this kitchen. I know there's not a lot of counter space, but we use every square inch of it. Every cupboard is filled with utensils, food, plates, serving, pots and pans. And we cook in here galore. We bake, we make, we cook, we entertain. I have 3 gorgeous kids. There's nothing I love more than having all their friends over, and especially when they have all their friends at the same time. There's nothing that I love more than cooking to entertain. I'm not so great cooking to feed because the creativity is limited, but when there are a lot of people, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day long.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping